Good morning, guys. Today is Monday, the 23rd. Should be about day 6 of the social distancing, taking a break from school thing, but not a break. I hope you're working on your packets and everything else that we passed out last week. If not, go to school and pick them up, please, if you can. On to Percy Jackson and the Titan's Curse. We left off with Annabeth is missing. We don't think she's dead. But Artemis said Percy can't find her, save her, something like that. We met Artemis, the goddess of the hunt. Bianca and Bianca di Angela, our two new half-blood friends, are okay. Confused, but okay. And there's something mysterious, some kind of big monster that Artemis says that she must hunt, and that's where we left off. So let's get to it. So do you know what the monster is? I asked. Artemis gripped her bow. Let us pray I am wrong. Can goddesses even pray? I asked, because I never really thought about that before. And a flicker of a smile played across Artemis's lips. Before I go, Percy Jackson, I do have a small task for you. Does it involve me getting turned into a jackalope? Sadly, no. I want you to escort the hunters back to Camp Half-Blood. They can stay there in safety until I return. What? Zoe blurted out. But Artemis, we hate that place. The last time we stayed there. Yes, I know, Artemis said. But I'm sure Dionysus will not hold a grudge just because of a little, misunderstanding. It's your right to use Cabin 8 whenever you are in need. Besides, I hear they rebuilt the cabins you burned down. Zoe muttered something about foolish campers. And now there was one last decision to make. Artemis turned to Bianca. Have you made up your mind yet, my girl? Bianca hesitated. I'm still thinking about it. Wait, I said, thinking about what? They've invited me to join the hunt with them. What? But you can't! You have to come to Camp Half-Blood so Chiron can train you. It's the only way you can learn to survive. It is not the only way for a girl, Zoe said. I couldn't believe I was hearing this. Bianca, camp is so cool. It's got a Pegasus stable and a sword fighting arena and... what do you get by joining the hunters anyways? To begin with, Zoe said, immortality. I stared at her and then Artemis. She's kidding, right? Zoe rarely kids about anything, Artemis said. My hunters follow me on my adventures. They are my maidservants, my companions, my sisters in arms. Once they swear loyalty to me, they are indeed immortal. Unless they fall in battle, which is unlikely, or break their oath. What oath? I said. To forswear romantic love forever, Artemis said. To never grow up, never get married. To be a maiden eternally. Like you? The goddess nodded. I tried to imagine what she was saying. Being immortal. Hanging out with only middle school girls forever. I couldn't get my mind around it. So you just go around the country recruiting half-bloods. Not just half-bloods, Zoe interrupted. Lady Artemis does not discriminate by birth. All who honor the goddess may join. Half-bloods, nymphs, mortals. Which are you then? Anger flashed in Zoe's eyes. That is not thy concern, boy. The point is, Bianca may join if she wishes. It is her choice. Bianca, this is crazy, I said. What about your brother? Nico can't be a hunter with you. Certainly not, Artemis agreed. He will go to camp. Unfortunately, that's the best boys can do. Hey, I protested. You can see him from time to time, Artemis assured Bianca. But you will be free of responsibility. He will have the camp counselors to take care of him, and you will have a new family. Us. A new family, Bianca repeated dreamily. Free of responsibility. Bianca, you can't do this, I said. It's nuts. She looked at Zoe. Is it worth it? Zoe nodded. It is. What do I have to do? Say this, Zoe told her. I pledge myself to the goddess Artemis. pledge myself to the goddess Artemis. I turn my back on the company of men, accept eternal maidenhood, and join the hunt. Bianca repeated those lines too. So that's it? Zoe nodded. If Lady Artemis accepts thy pledge, then it is binding. I accept it, Artemis said. The flames in the brazier brightened, casting a silver glow over the room. Bianca looked no different, but she took a deep breath and opened her eyes wide. I feel stronger. Welcome, sister, Zoe said. Remember your pledge, Artemis said. It is now your life. I couldn't speak. I felt like a trespasser and a complete failure. I couldn't believe I'd come all this way and suffered so much only to lose Bianca to some eternal girls' club. Do not despair, Artemis said. You will still get to show the D'Angelos your camp, and if Nico so chooses, he can stay there as well. Artemis closed her eyes. Dawn is approaching. Zoe, break camp. You must get to Long Island quickly and safely. I shall summon a ride from my brother. Zoe didn't look really happy about this idea, but she nodded and told Bianca to follow her. As she was leaving, Bianca paused in front of me. I'm sorry, Percy, but I want this. I really, really do. And then she was gone, and I was left alone with the 12-year-old goddess. So, I said glumly, we're going to get a ride from your brother, huh? Artemis's silver eyes gleamed. Yes, boy. You see, Bianca di Angela is not the only one with an annoying brother. It's time for you to meet my irresponsible twin, Apollo. Artemis assured us that dawn was coming, but you could have fooled me. It was colder and darker and snowier than ever. Up on the hill, Westover Hall's windows were completely lightless, and I wonder if the teachers had even noticed the D'Angelos and Dr. Thorn were missing yet. I didn't want to be around when they did. With my luck, the only name Mrs. Gottschalk would remember was Percy Jackson, and then I'd be the subject of a nationwide manhunt. Again. The hunters broke camp as quickly as they'd set it up. I stood shivering in the snow, unlike the hunters, who didn't seem to feel at all uncomfortable. And Artemis stared into the east like she was expecting something. Bianca sat off to one side, talking with Nico. I could tell from his gloomy face that she was explaining her decision to join the hunt. I couldn't help thinking how selfish it was of her, abandoning her brother like that. Talia and Grover came up and huddled around me, anxious to hear what had happened in my audience with the goddess. When I told them, Grover turned pale. The last time the hunters visited camp, it didn't go so well. How'd they even show up here? I wondered. I mean, they just appeared out of nowhere. And Bianca joined them, Talia said, disgusted. It's all Zoe's fault. That stuck-up, no good. Hey, who can blame her? Grover said. Eternity with Artemis? And he heaved a big sigh. Talia rolled her eyes. You satyrs, you're all in love with Artemis. Don't you get that she'll never love you back? But she's so into nature, Grover swooned. You're nuts, said Talia. Nuts and berries, Grover said dreamily. Yeah. And that's where we will stop here. Chapter 4 is called Talia Torches New England. Now, it seems like she's got some kind of anger issues with the hunters of Artemis, especially that Zoe girl, so hopefully whatever she's torching is not going to be the worst thing ever. And we're going to meet a new Olympian, Apollo. We'll see how he is. Percy's talked about the Apollo kids before at Camp Half-Blood, that they are the best archers ever and all that. Well, I'll leave us there for today. If you've got any questions about the book, if you want to talk to your friends about it, get some more background information, hit someone up in my class, like this video, subscribe, hit the bell, do all that, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.